What's good, people? It is Tony the Savant. And before we get started, please like the video, share the video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. As well, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily, stay very busy on the platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always intrigued to hear what you all have to say about these topics. And ladies and sports fans and gentlemen, we are recapping the Sunday night showdown between the Buffalo Bills and the San Francisco 49ers as the Buffalo Bills were able to capture a victory this game 35-10. Another rout, second straight week the 49ers have been routed. And this game was all Buffalo Bills. Off the top, got to say two things. Let's just start with Christian McCaffrey. After returning from his Achilles tendonitis injury, I believe, that kept him out the first 8 games of the season. He returned, played the recent 4 games, most recent 4 games for the 49ers, and suffered another injury in this game. I believe the injury that they said it was to his PCL. So that might keep him out the rest of the season. I think we're still waiting for updates at this current moment in time. So as soon as we get some more updates on Christian McCaffrey, I will drop that, whether it's a short video, whatever. And outside of that, Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen. This dude is just having an MVP type season. Now, Josh Allen has never been anything short of great to me before. Of course, he's had his games, and much like a lot of guys, he's had his worst games on some of the biggest stages. He's had some of his best games on some of his biggest games as well. But this season for the Buffalo Bills has been all Josh Allen. This guy looks like, outside of Lamar Jackson, and I would say it's almost a 1A, 1B type situation depending on the week. This dude looks like the best quarterback in the NFL right now, and he's doing it in all facets. I believe this was the can't recall how many games. I can't remember the number, but I think he has the most games now with at least 2 touchdown passes and a rushing touchdown. This game, he had a rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown on a crazy play from Amari Cooper, and I believe he had 2 touchdown passes. We'll look at the box score. As I think they counted the receiving touchdown as a receiving and let me see. They count that as a receiving and did they count it as a receiving and a passing touchdown for Josh Allen on one play. So, again, this dude has just been playing some amazing football. I just want to give credit where credit is due. I've been critical of Josh Allen in days past, but, they took those back-to-back losses. Excuse me. I think they took those back-to-back losses. I can't recall. Did they lose to the Ravens? I believe they lost to the Ravens and then to the Texans. And then from that point on, it's like the Buffalo Bills have been locked in. And there was a lot of concern, excuse me, about the Buffalo Bills offense as they had lost a lot of key pieces on their offense. And a lot of guys have stepped up. And they've also done themselves a great service by going out and getting a certified receiver like Amari Cooper. Excuse me, y'all. Getting over a cold, man. It's bothering me a little bit. Excuse me. But anyway, let's get on to this game. Look at some of this box score. Again, as this was all Buffalo Bills. It says it looks it in the numbers. And I also want to say one more caveat. Brock Purdy, man, this dude is really in the middle of the rock and the hard place. I got to give credit to where credit is due. Brock Purdy has been on my radar for quite some years, at least since 2022. I have a lot of confidence and high praise for this young man. He's a third-year starter for the 49ers now. Really second-year starter, but this is his third year having full reign as the starting quarterback. And he's had some bright spots this season. He didn't look that great this game, of course. I believe the weather was very instrumental in this, as this was, Buffalo Bills weather, the typical snow game. And the 49ers being a West Coast team, being a warmer climate team, this game kind of reminded me of how the Miami Dolphins looked versus not just my Green Bay Packers in the Thanksgiving game, but the Miami Dolphins versus the Kansas City Chiefs in last year's playoffs, when you could just tell the warmer climate team was not completely adjusted to those extreme cold climate, those extreme cold climates, and that's what it looked like for the 49ers today. This wasn't exactly, I would say, a horrible game for the 49ers. I would just say they were not accustomed to the environment, to the climate at all. A lot of guys was out there slipping, including Christian McCaffrey. That's kind of how he suffered his injury. When he was running, he kind of lost his footing a little bit from under him, and that's how he was. That's how he suffered his injury. But again, I can't take anything away from Brock Purdy. He's just kind of in the middle of the rock and a hard place. Losing a lot of his weapons, a lot of the guys that are instrumental to the success of this offense. Even in this game, they were down a number of starters on both sides of the football, offense and defense. Demondre, forget this general, Lenore, if I'm saying his name right. He was out. You had Trent Williams was out. Jordan Elliott, Nick Bosa. So a lot of key guys. Dre Greenlaw's been out for I think he was out for at least a week now. Can't recall when they had sat him, but you're talking about a lot of guys that were key to the 49ers making it to the Super Bowl last season. These guys are out. So Brock Purdy is essentially working with a lot of second, third string guys, a lot of guys that didn't expect to get significant playing time, like probably a Jawan Jennings, probably like Jordan Mason, among others. And Brock has still been able to, do what he's doing. He's thrown for 2,700 yards so far this season, 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. His numbers aren't completely off from where they've been, what we've been accustomed to from him. But in this game, he's coming off a shoulder injury as well. I'm not trying to make any excuses for him, but Brock is out there doing the best he can with what he has, and he hit George Kittle on one big pass this game, but that George has been his really only security blanket, in all these injuries. George Kittle is the one guy that's been seeming to be consistently healthy week in, week out. I just think that I don't want too much criticism to be placed on Brock Purdy, because the kid is still doing his thing. He's still out here balling. It's just, he can only do so much with these second and third string players, respectfully, and especially in this kind of climate. But let's look over the numbers real quick. Speaking of Brock Purdy, he went 11 of 18 this game, 94 yards, no touchdowns, no scores, and he was sacked twice. Jordan Mason, he ran the ball 13 times for 78 yards. He did get a nice run for 28 yards, nice long run. Christian McCaffrey, prior to his injury, he had 7 carries for 53 yards. He had a nice 19-yard run that almost broke for a touchdown. I believe he suffered his injury in the first half and did not return in the second half. Isaiah, let me mention this guy, Isaac Guerendo. He did get the one lone touchdown for the 49ers offense in this game. He had 4 carries for 19 yards. For the wide receiving core, again, Jawan Jennings, 3 receptions, led the way, 56 yards. He had 5 targets for the game. Deebo Samuel had 4 receptions for 20 yards. He had 5 targets for the game as well. Christian McCaffrey, before his injury, had 2 receptions and 14 yards on 3 targets as well. George Kittle had 1 lone reception for 7 yards. So just not a lot to talk about when it comes to the 49ers. Their numbers are very putrid, especially what we've been accustomed to from these very guys I just mentioned in years past. Moving on to the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen looked like Superman this game, 13 of 17, 148 yards in the air. Again, had 2 touchdown passes, no interceptions, no sacks, Just the perfect game for this guy. We had James Cook. He had a big long run for a touchdown, a 65-yarder, I think it was, for a touchdown score, 14 carries on 107 yards, and a touchdown score for James Cook, who's had a bit of a resurgence this year himself. Ray Davis come out of nowhere, and it's been a nice 1-2 punch for the Buffalo Bills in the backfield with James Cook. He had 11 carries for 63 yards. He also scored a touchdown run. I think he got the first touchdown of the game. Um, and that was about it. Ty Johnson, he had 5 carries for 28 yards. Josh Allen had 3 carries for 18 yards, and also he got himself a touchdown on the ground. For the receiving room, a lot of, kudos to Josh Allen for spreading the wealth. As there's a few guys in the mix that had one reception. Number one guy that comes to mind is Matt Collins. He had a reception for 7 yards. He also had a touchdown score off that reception. Josh Allen, again, he had a receiving touchdown on a crazy, wacky play where he threw it to Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper gets, tangled up by 2 or 3 defenders. He laterals the ball back to Josh Allen, and then they count that as a receiving and a passing touchdown for Josh Allen. So that's how he got that score this game. Dawson Knox had 2 receptions for 56 yards. Khalil Shakur, 4 receptions for 30 yards. 7 targets for Shakur. 2 receptions, 2 targets for Dawson Knox. He had a good game tonight. Quentin Morris also had a catch for 14 yards. Amari Cooper, 3 catches for 12 yards. Not a lot of production from Coop, but he made that key play again with Josh Allen. Man, that's about it in that department, man. Let's see, sacks. Only 1 sack for the game. That came for the Buffalo Bills. Greg, I can't say that. Ruscio? I remember them saying it when he got the sack. I can't recall how they said it. But this game also had some division clinching implications involved, as the Buffalo Bills have clinched the AFC East with 5 games remaining in the season. Yes, the Buffalo Bills are the kings of the AFC East this season. Really putting their name back on the map. I gotta recall how many times have the Buffalo Bills won this division these recent years. I think they won it last season as well. But yeah, that's it. Let's look at the team stats real quick. See what went down there. First downs, all Buffalo Bills. They had 20 to the 49ers 15. Third down efficiency, 49ers went 3 of 10 this game. Buffalo Bills went 6 of 12 for the game. Total yards, 239 for the San Francisco 49ers, 372 for the Buffalo Bills. Passing yards, 86 for the San Francisco 49ers, 152 for the Buffalo Bills, which is a astounding for both these teams considering how bad the weather was. Let's look. Rushing yards, 153 for the San Francisco 49ers to 220 for the Buffalo Bills. Red zone attempts. San Francisco went 1 of 3. The Buffalo Bills were perfect in the red zone this game, going 4 of 4. Excuse me. Turnovers, 3 for the San Francisco 49ers. They did have a couple fumbles. Deebo Samuel fumbled it. I believe somebody else. It was a bad exchange where the ball was fumbled as well. So the San Francisco 49ers did have a number of fumbles this game that they lost. Time of possession, 26 minutes and 33 seconds for the San Francisco 49ers compared to 33 minutes and 27 seconds for the Buffalo Bills. So as you can see, or as you heard it, folks, the Buffalo Bills look fantastic this game. It was all Bills Mafia for 3 facets of the game, and they continue to cement themselves as a Super Bowl contender this year. You know, they're 1 game away from one game behind the Kansas City Chiefs for the best number one seed, best team in the AFC this season, which is a feat to say because the Kansas City Chiefs have been rolling, winning week in and week out. We all know they took their first loss to these very Buffalo Bills last week, or was that 2 weeks ago now? And so these guys are the real deal. Was looking like, we was all asking in the beginning of the season were the Buffalo Bills contenders or pretenders. There were some concerns there for those 2 weeks that they lost back to back, but they've been able to find their footing and just find a way to keep rolling again behind Josh Allen's MVP Superman esque performances. But that's all I got for y'all on this one. Excuse me. Please like the video, share the video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel as well. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. As I drop content daily, go live daily, stay very busy on the platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always interested to hear what you all have to say about these topics. I am Tony the Savant. Thank you for the support. Peace.